the assembly center. So in the assembly center, we have to assemble the product, and after that, from the assembly center, we have to dispatch. Okay, so there are different case, different intermediate point as per the product. Okay, like if we have some food product or dairy product, so we don't require all these intermediate point. We don't require all these intermediate points. Yes, we don't require all these intermediate points. We have to make only single distribution center to dispatch to the nearest retailer. Okay, so on the basis of the product, we have to design the channels. So there are different channels. So I'm not going to describe what are the channels, what type of the channels we have to use for what type of the product. Okay, so these are the applications. So nowadays we are using in a different domain. We are using the supply chain like e-commerce. We are using the e-commerce. Uh, we are using the supply chain and logistic in e-commerce, where the supplier will supply the product to the warehouse. Then after warehouse to the uh, nearest collection center, nearest uh, storage warehouse. Then after it will distribute to the different customer through last mile delivery system. Okay, last mile delivery system. Another one, during the COVID, actually, even you have seen a news, the supply chain. It means because due to the COVID, it affects on the transportation service, because the vehicle is not moving from one state to another. So it affects a lot. It affects a lot in a pharmaceutical supply chain. So it also it's one of the application in a pharmaceutical supply chain. So nowadays we are using a different technology to digitalize our supply chain, like IoT system or blockchain technology. Another application is our we can say some agro food supply chain. We have a farmer, and from farmer to the warehouse to the processing tent center or service provider. Then after there will be some agent, and all these transportation occur by the help of logistic system or some transportation system. uh, Another application we can say apparel supply chain, the closed supply chain. But you can see in a different case scenario, our constraint or the scenario will be change. Because if we consider the pharmaceutical supply chain or agro food supply chain, we have to consider the shelf life, or we have to select the proper vehicle, because maybe the shelf life is very less of some agro food or agro green food product. Then in that case, we have to design the supply chain or network supply chain for the refrigerated vehicle. So in different scenario, there are number of constraints. It's just like in apparel, there is no need of shelf life, so there is some relaxation in some little bit time or on the vehicle allocation. So there are different application of supply chain. Now motivation, even you have seen the news nowadays. There is a lot of issue faced during the pandemic. The supply chain was affected, and it affects on the cost also. The shipping cost was increased, and nowadays, as per the data, statistica.com and other uh, data analytics company, they have analyzed that shipping cost will increase by 250%, and the trucking cost will increase by 22%, and even the raw material will increase by 56%. So nowadays, due to the supply chain, the shipping cost and all these factors will increase, all these costs will increase. So now, how can we improve the supply chain. Obviously, we can improve by mathematical modeling or uh, some OR technique we can use to improve the supply chain. But we can also use analytics also, supply chain analytics. So if we have a data set, if we have a data set, means how many number of products demanded in the last year or last time period, what are the means what are the vehicle routing in the last time period. So if we have a proper data, we can use the supply chain analytics, and we can handle the inventory management, network planning. Means if we have number of routes, so we can develop which route network will be more efficient to transport the good from one point to another point. Nowadays there is a forward logistic also, forward supply for sorry reverse supply chain also, because nowadays the government and the companies, they are focusing to reduce the waste items, waste material and the waste items. So we have to also focus on a reverse supply chain. So if we have a proper data, or if we use the proper analytics system, we can also handle the return management. So, if we have it refers to the process organization to use to gain insight and extract value from the large amount of data associated with the procurement, processing, and distribution of the goods. So, if we have a proper data set, we can extract the value and we can gain the insight. Means what will be the means what are the major issues we have faced during the during the last time period. So and we can say supply chain analytics, basically supply chain analytics is an essential element of a supply chain management. So if the supply chain analytics, if we make the if we want to more system efficient, we can use the supply chain analytics. Now there are different uh, techniques. Means there are different type of supply chain analytics. Descriptive analytics, if we have a past data set, so we can analyze what happened in the last time period, what are the trends. Means let us assume if we have a data set from last 5 years, we can easily predict what will be the demand, or let us assume for the AC, if we have a data set of air condition, so we can predict at what time period the demand will increase, and at what time period the demand will decrease, or maybe on the variety of product, or on the basis of the uh, customer nature, or the customer sentiments. So what will the demand, so we means what are the issues, what were the trend, we can easily determine by the use of descriptive. Then after, maybe on the basis of descriptive, there is some delay. Okay, so what are the reason, means why it happens, why there is some backlog during the inventory system. So we can diagnose what are the reasons, and on the basis of the data set, we can predict. On the basis of the data set, we can predict by the help of different machine learning algorithm, like random forest, or neural network, or there are a number of machine learning approach we can use to predict the value. Okay, predict the value. Maybe if we have to predict the demand, we can easily predict. So if we have a data set, then we have a different data pre-processing system, and after that we have to predict. On the basis of that, we can predict the values. And after the prediction, after the some prediction, we have some values. Let us assume if we have some prediction value, let us assume if we have two prediction values. Okay, so we can prescribe, means what will be the requirement, maybe some resources required to get these values. So on the basis of that, we can prescribe. There will be some prescriptive analysis. Means what will be the best shipment strategy will occur for supply the some bulk material or some we can say some certain number of products. What will be the order, or what will the vehicle size will require, what will be the vehicle type will require, what will be the multimodal if we require. So we can prescribe on the basis of the prediction. Now importance, uh, because we are using the supply chain analytics, so there will be some importance. So what we can do, it will reduce the cost, means reduce cost and improve the margins. So uh, it will access the comprehensive data, means if we have a data, so it will access the comprehensive data to gain continuous integrated planning approach. And it is a real-time visibility, we can say, into a discrete data that drives the operational efficiency and actionable insights. Another importance, we can say, better understand the risk. Maybe there will be some risk, maybe there will be a bullwhip effect, maybe there will be some trend, means maybe just like a phone, na? If we have a different data set of a phone, we know that if we manufacture a single type of product in a bulk size, definitely the after some certain time period the demand will decrease, and at that time we have to sell the same product in a very low cost. So in that case the company will be in loss. So we have to understand the better understand of the risk. Then after, on the basis of analysis, we can increase the accuracy in planning. Like if we analyze the customer data, so supply chain analytics can help a business uh, better predict the future demand, and it also helps an organization to decide what products can be minimized. Means uh, let us assume what means how many number of product we have to manufacture. So on the basis of that, we can increase the accuracy in the planning. Another importance, we can say, achieve the lean supply chain. So companies can use the supply chain analytics to monitor the warehouse or partner response and the customer needs for better informed decisions. So we can achieve the lean supply chain. Then after, another importance, we can say, the prepare for the future. Now nowadays companies, they are offering advanced analytics, now you have heard chat gpt or different type of learning algorithms. They are using a ai technique to identify the prediction or forecast value. So on the basis of that, we can prepare for the future. Even we can say advanced analytics can also build the correlation and patterns among the different sources to provide alerts that minimize the risk at very minimum cost, or the also the we can say the sustainability will be we can also reduce the sustainability if we have a proper supply chain analytics. Now there is a company IDC Siemens. So they have analyzed some 5 C's of effective supply chain analytics. They have seen a 5 C of supply chain analytics. First one is the connected. So connected means it is being able to connect the unstructured data, and unstructured data from the social media, or structured data from the uh, IoT system, and even they can connect a more traditional data that will be available through, if we have a traditional ERP system. So we can connect and we can make some integrated tools. Collaborative means if we improving the collaboration with the suppliers, increasing mainly means the use of cloud-based commerce network to enable the multi enterprise collaboration and management. Another C is a cyber aware. If we have a means, there will be a some cyber awareness. So if we consider the effective supply chain analytics, so there will be a supply chain must have some awareness about what are the issues may occur. Maybe there will be a malware system or some issues. There will be some hacking issues. So there will be some cyber awareness in the supply chain. Another one is cognitively enabled. So it is basically the AI platform. That this AI platform is become this AI platform becomes the modern supply chain control tower. Nowadays, they have made some centralized control tower, just like IBM have a own control tower, so they can coordinate and conduct the decisions. Means on the basis of the AI platform, they conduct whether what will be the decision we have to take, whether the demand increases or means they are using the self-learning process by the using of different machine learning, just like a reinforcement learning or different self-learning process. Comprehensive. So another C is a comprehensive. So analytics capabilities must be scaled with the data in a real time data set. So insight will be some comprehensive and fast. Now the case study that I have worked to analyze the demand and the location. So basically I have used a data analysis, and yeah, whenever we have to analyze the data, there will be some process. So data analysis is basically the process of inspecting, cleaning and transforming, and after that we have to model the data on the basis of the requirement. Maybe there will be some useful information, there will be some informing conclusion. So we have to uh, identify what will be the features, what will be the target values. So on the basis of that we have to decide. So if we have a data set, if we have a data set, so first of all what we have to do, we have to inspect. Okay, we have to inspect because whenever we have a data set, the data set will be in the raw form, so means concrete data set. So first of all we have to identify what will be the target value. Okay, and what are the important features. On the basis of that we will get the target value. So in this particular study, we propose a data analytics framework by the machine learning approach and data mining algorithm. We have means we have used these approach for the Brazilian e-commerce stores. We have a data set, and we have developed a one framework. You can see in the figure. Uh, So first of all, we have worked on a descriptive analytics. So there will be some data visualization. So it will be more easy. Means what are the means what are the network, what are the graphical representation, we can easily visualize. So there will be some for this particular data we have a geographical plot of sellers and the customers. So we have plotted in a map. Okay, and on the basis of the data we have done some descriptive statistics. So there will be some outliers in the data set. So we have removed the data outliers, and there are data set of some past orders, and there are data set of some review score of products. Because on the means whenever the customer purchase, the customer give the some score of the product. Just like whenever you purchase some product from Amazon and Flipkart, you always, after the purchase or after getting the product, you always give some customer feedback. Okay, so even on the basis of that feedback, you also purchase. Means whenever we purchase some new product, we always see whether the product rating is good or not. And within the rating there are a number of bifurcation. Means whether the product quality is good or not, whether the service is good. So there are different review scores. Late delivery, we have a data set of a late delivery. Means means how, means whether the product is reached to the final destination within the correct time, within the promising time or not. And if there is a delivery, what are the late delivery time. Okay, so after that we have after that I have summarized the complete descriptive analysis. Now on the basis of the analysis, on the basis of the data set, we have go for the we have used the predictive analytics. We have used the predictive analytics to forecast the sale. Means what will the sale in the next time period. And we have we have developed our regression model for the freight value. So on the basis of this predictive analytics, and after summary, we have used the prescriptive analysis. What will be the facility we require, and at what location we have to develop a facility to supply the product. So in the descriptive analysis, we have interpreted the historical data. Means what are the changes have occurred in the business, and what are the ranges of the historical data for the comparison. So we have done a descriptive analysis uh, in this case study. And then after, what are the important component of the performance, because we have a different parameters. So on the basis of the descriptive analysis, we have analyzed what are the important components, so that important parameters will play an important role to make the business more efficient. So basically this one is a list of the data set we have. Means zip code we have, order customer data set we have, order review data set. Means what are the review we have. So these are the data set you can see. Means order payment data set, order product data set, order seller data set, and geolocation data set with the help of zip code. So all these data set we have. So on the basis of these data set, we have conducted a descriptive analysis. So basically, I have used one software. I think all of you are aware of this software, IBM SPSS Statistic. So basically, this one academic version is free. So uh, if you want, you can use this software. It is a very efficient software to uh, for the data analysis. So I have used this IBM SPSS, and basically how does it work? First of all, there will be a data selection. What type of data we have to, means in a company, if we have a lot of data sets. So first of all, we have to choose what data we have to work. And after that, on the basis of the data, we have to analyze. So there will be a different way we can analyze. So there are different tools we can use, like a one tool is a Veka, through which we can go for a descriptive analysis. There will be some outlier detection. We can remove the outlier detection by using Veka and go for the descriptive analysis. Another method is Tableau, through which we can make a graphical representation of a uh, different features with respect to the target value. So we can make a graphical representation by the use of Tableau. And in IBM SPS is a statistic tool. We can use this tool for descriptive analysis, predictive analysis, and the prescriptive analysis. So for this particular problem, we have past orders overview, low review analysis, and late delivery detection. We have a data set. So we have used these data set for the descriptive analysis. Now, on the basis of these descriptive analysis, we have predicted the value of freight value regression model and predicted the sales forecasting. So, with the help of with the help of these values, we can prescribe the facility location. Means what will the problem may occur for the facility location, or maybe the facility location will uh, require for the sales. So we can prescribe. So on the basis of the analysis, we found that the number of low reviews, means 1 to 10, we have a 16 number of products, 16 type of product. Okay. And 11 to 15, we have a 22 type of product. So these are the some analysis. Okay, these are the analysis. And we found that there's a total of 18,649 low reviews in the data. We found that. And uh, we found that the highest count of low reviews, the sum total of 2,170 low reviews. So means for this, basically for this category. Okay, for this category. So we have analyzed, and we have analyzed the late delivery. Means we have plotted the graph of a late delivery with respect to the count number of products. And we found that the count of the late delivery is found to be 6,535 in the total data. Of the total orders, 99,442. And the delay in the delivery range from 1 day to maximum 188 days. Means there is a maximum days of delays 188 days. You can see how it is uh, uh, it's too high, 188. So maximum number of the late deliveries of the orders are obtained by the seller belonging to the city of SP state. So there is a means analysis, means where most of the late delivery occurs. So there is some issue. Okay, we can say there is some issue in this city. The late delivery count is 168 of a total order of 1,757 orders. And there are 42 sellers who had a problem of not delivering even a single order on a time for this particular state. Okay, for this particular state. And we found that total 303 sailors had the late delivery percentage of 5 or lesser. So it is basically the part of descriptive analysis. And we have plotted the graph. Means we have plotted the location where means we have identified some of the outliers. Okay, some of the outliers. And we have plotted a seller state. Means these are the seller state. Okay, so we have plotted in a map. Then after we have conducted a predictive analysis. So predictive analysis basically encompasses the variety of statistical technique from data mining, predictive modeling, and the machine learning that analyze the current and the historical facts to make the prediction about the future or otherwise unknown events. Maybe like we don't know how many number of resources will require to reach. Let us assume if we have to maximize the sale of, let us assume 1000 unit of some specific product, so we don't know how many number of resources will require. So on the basis of predictive analysis, we can identify the number of resources required to produce 1000 number of unit of products. So uh, even although a predictive analytics platform cannot guarantee perfect forecasting, one important thing, there will be some accuracy issue. So we have to identify which machine learning algorithm is a more suitable to give more accurate value of the prediction. So sometimes we also use a different machine learning algorithm like linear regression in a same data set. Okay, in a same data set, linear regression or um, decision tree, okay, or random forest, okay, or maybe if we require knn or neural network, okay, and after that means maybe by the using of linear regression, uh, we can predict what is the accuracy for that specific for that particular data set. Similarly for the dt also, for rf also, and finally we can say finally we can say uh, which one is the more accurate. So for that particular data set, we can say, let us assume the neural network is giving more accurate result. Okay, so we sometimes we also compare which machine learning algorithm is giving more accurate result, so we can use. For this particular problem, I have used ARIMA method. Okay, so in this model, we have used for merging of data sets to determine the distance between the sellers and the customers. So we have merged and we have used the IBM SPSS method, and the data set is in the form of CSV. So we have uh, merged the data set to determine the what distance between the sellers and the customer. Now we have used we use the regression model. We use the stepwise selection to select most significant independent variables, and the model, like we have a three model, one, two, and the three. So which one is more beneficial for us? Now we have observed that the distance is most predicted, significant predictor that will decide the freight value by the product weight. So by the help of distance, the distance is a important factor through which we can determine the product, how much number of product will require, the sales will increase. So this one is a plot, the forecast plot that is showing the overall sales to the predict the sales in a Brazil each day of a year. So this one is a prediction, and we have used the anima model, and basically I have used the python platform to identify the prediction. So in the by the using of this analysis, we can prescribe there is some prescriptive analysis. So prescriptive analytics gather all the data from the descriptive analysis and the predictive analysis, and it applies them to process of means by the using of descriptive and the predictive analysis, we can use for some decision making process. And it includes different conditions like means how the means how if we consider this scenario, what will be the future. So we have conducted a prescriptive analysis like where we have to suggest the optimal location of the sellers, what will be the state through which we have to allocate uh, allocate the facility through which the sale will increase. So another one is this one is actually I have used a tableau for the representation, means on the basis of the actual distance and on the basis of the facility. So inside we from this we can say that the range of the distance that can be lessened with the installation of facility location for the sellers. So if we use the suggested location of the facility layout, so what will be the distance? So it has been reduced by the range of 9.7 miles to 2,199 miles. So it is working, means on the basis of prescriptive analysis we have tested whether it will work or not. So by the help of prescriptive analysis we can see the distances will be decreased. Now actually before concluding this we can use nowadays the main issues we are facing with the data set. So how the companies they are using the data, means how they are working, because initially whenever the company introduce in the market, they don't have a data set like Flipkart, Amazon. When the company introduced in India, they don't have they at that time they haven't any they hadn't any data set. They were working on a some mathematical model. They were working on a one mathematical model. Sorry. So whenever we formulate a mathematical model, there will be some input parameters and there will be some decision variable, and on the basis of decision variable there is some objective function. Okay, objective function may be the profit maximization or revenue maximization, and with respect to objective function there are some constraints, number of constraints. Okay, so basically the company they have a own some decision support system which is working on a some defined mathematical model, and obviously the model is robust. So on the basis of this they are getting some, means let us assume we have a decision variable how many number of vehicles required, or whether how many facility layout will require. So on the basis of the uh, result we have a value of v and l. So they have collected the data set from last couple of years. Okay, on the basis of the mathematical model. Okay, and after that, means on the basis of this mathematical model they have some input values, number of input values with respect to the time frame. Okay, and there are some objective function value, means how much it is for a specific product, how much they are maximizing the revenue, or how much they are investing in a transportation. So there are, maybe there will be different. So on the basis of these inputs there will be a number of inputs, there will be a number of objective functions. So on the basis of these data set, now they are using the AI technique to determine the objective function value. Means now there is no use of mathematical model, because the model will be trained on the basis of these past data, and they have developed they have developed a correlation between the input and the objective function, and on the basis of this correlation we can easily determine the objective function value. And maybe if the system require decision variable value, means how many number of trucks or how many number of vehicles will require at some particular source point or some intermediate point, we can easily determine. Okay, so by the help of AI, now they are determining the decision variables and objective function values. Now for this specifically for this analysis, in this study we have proposed one, we can say propose a data analytics framework by the using of machine learning algorithm. And from the descriptive analytics, we identify the products and its categories with extreme number of low review scores. And we can say uh, even from this we have some of the analysis from the some of the analysis we can conclude that they have a capability to reveal the interesting fact that can tremendously improve the profit of a company. Also means what are the factors if we change, so the profit will trigger, okay, means trigger up. So and by the using of date and time of the orders available in the data, we found that the seller of Ibitinga city of SP state that had most count of late deliveries, and it was observed that from the analysis, it was observed that the 42 sellers are very underperforming. So, if means if we focus on these 42 sellers to increase the perform, or we can remove these 42 sellers, so that the system will improve. So the system will improve and the product will deliver within the promising time. So the record of the order was explored and firmly analyzed to understand the sales from each state. Because this one is the one, because uh, for I am quoting this city because you can see we have a lot of, means there are a lot of sellers. 42 is a lot of sellers who are underperforming. Okay, but there are a lot of states in which we can observe what are the count of orders associated with the different states. So four states that were devoid of any sellers in them were detected through the descriptive analytics, and this insight would be supportive for the merchants in corresponding areas through which we can increase the profit. So and by the using of this regression model, we can predict the freight value of an order, which was evaluated with the help of distance, the product size, the price, and the weight. That one is a independent variables. So on the basis of this regression value, we can predict the how much value will be demand at the end point. We can easily predict. For this particular model, I have used very simple, or we can say uh, I have used only regression or ARIMA method to determine the prediction. But even we can check the different machine learning algorithm whether maybe the accuracy will increase. Okay, so this one is a one case study that I have described. That one is based on a Brazilian e-commerce. So today's session is over. Maybe if you have any doubt, please you can ask.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saro sir. Arun sir is waiting for a emergency call. On behalf of Arun sir, I would like to convey the thanks for delivering case study based presentation. Really, it's a nice sir. So that practically how we are going to implement all these things will come to know. Be wonderful, sir.
Thank you.
If you give permission, just I would like to say, participants, if you have doubts, you can raise it. Hope you never mind if the participant can raise through mail also. If they send a mail to you.
Yeah, sure, sure. Even if you have any doubt, or if you want uh, to discuss something on this topic, you can mail me. Definitely, I will discuss with you. I will resolve the issue.